Do you need an MBA to be a product manager? Why do most of the PM job postings mention MBA as a requirement? How can I get my first product manager role without an MBA? If you are struggling with these questions, then this is just the right video for you. For today, we are going to answer these age-old questions and help you prepare for your first PM role without an MBA. Hello everyone and welcome to Product is Life, your one-stop shop for anything and everything about product management. Now, as you would have already guessed by now from my tone, the answer to do I need an MBA to be a product manager is a simple no. You absolutely do not need an MBA to be a product manager. And to be clear, this is not a diss on MBA. You can do an MBA for a variety of reasons, but if the sole reason for considering an MBA is to get a job as a product manager in the future, then this is not a right decision. This is also because most of the major B schools in India don't offer any specific course or certification in product management. And even if they do, then nobody in the corporate world actually values such certifications while hiring for their PM candidates. And if learning is the core objective, then I think there is no better university than YouTube at the moment. Now, learning and all is fine, but the next obvious question that follows is that most of the PM job postings have an MBA as a requirement. And if I don't have an MBA, then I won't even get a shot at an interview. So what's the point of learning from all those YouTube videos when I won't even get an opportunity to interview for a PM role? Now, this is sadly a real problem. First of all, I would say don't take those job requirements too literally. Most of the recruiters usually exaggerate the requirements. So make your shot and apply for the roles anyway. But let's say you are still not getting any interview calls. In that case, let's try to understand your profile a little better. You are either a fresher, that is someone who has just recently completed their graduation and do not have any professional work experience. Or you are already a working professional having a couple of years of work experience, not as PM obviously, and are planning to make the shift to product management. Here, I would make a further classification of whether your current work ex is in engineering, design, QA and analytics, or if it is in some other field. Now, let's go through them one by one in detail. Before proceeding further, just a quick clarification. In this video, we are purely focusing on the how to get into product management. We'll not get into the why product management part, as that is a separate detailed topic in itself. So the assumption here is that you have done your research and are absolutely certain that product management is the only path you want to take from a career perspective. Okay, now coming back to our classification. For a fresher, you definitely do not need an MBA. You'll most likely be considered for an APM role, which is an entry-level role in the product management hierarchy. And usually for an APM role, past experience as a product manager or an MBA are not a mandatory requirement. So this is purely going to be a merit-based selection where you will be evaluated based on your skills, your problem-solving approach, and your eagerness to learn. So as a fresher, some of the things you should work upon are first, to practice, practice, and practice. This anyways holds true for almost any profession. The more you practice, the better you will get at product management. Try to think from multiple point of views. User point of view about how does the product adds value to the user. Business point of view about how does the product helps generate revenue for the business. And technology point of view about tech feasibility, complexity, and scale of the product. Another thing you can do is pick your most frequently used app and assume that you are a product manager there and try to come up with 10 things you would like to improve about the app, or 10 things you really like about that app which you think are unique about it. Next, try and build something. Showcase your passion for product management and in a way, prove yourself. You can make your own website. This is a highly underrated exercise. Don't worry too much about the content to begin with. Just think of it as your online CV. Put whatever information is in your CV on your website. The simple process of designing the website, structuring the site directory would give you immense clarity on what lies ahead on the road to product management. You'll realize that there is a thought process behind even the simplest of the things like font, font size, button color, etc. You can also make your own app, and since we are living in a mobile world, this is pretty much the need of the hour. There is an app for almost everything nowadays. There are many platforms which let you create your own app quickly without much technical or coding knowledge. This would again give you clarity of thought and structure in terms of what the user journey should be, how to arrange information. Should you show all the information on one page or split it into multiple pages, etc. etc. And besides everything else, making your own app is actually quite fun. Next, you should have awareness of basic product management concepts. Familiarize yourself with the basic product management concepts like PRD, MVP, sprint, wireframes, user stories, etc. etc. However, don't yet go too deep into the theoretical concepts. The idea is just that you are able to understand and follow the discussion if these terms come up in a discussion somewhere and you don't end up feeling totally lost. Next thing you can try is internships. If you can get a few months internship in a product management role, go for it. You can easily find out internship opportunities on almost every job search platform. And although I'm not a big fan of unpaid internships, but if it's a good role or a good brand, then I would suggest not to make salary as a big mental roadblock and just go for it. Think of these few months of unpaid work as a long-term investment in your future. And another thing you can try is referrals. You are much more likely to get an interview call if you are referred by an existing employee versus if you applied online. And also, as a fresher, due to your lack of experience, chances are that your CV would most likely get filtered by bots if you just apply online on the company's website. So reach out to your network of friends, family, school, college alumni, and just shamelessly ask for a referral. It's not a big deal. And one last thing I would mention for a fresher is communication skills. Though there are a lot of skills required for product management, communication skills stand out for fresher as you probably don't have many projects to showcase your skills yet. And thus, your communication skills are your biggest ally to convey your ideas and thoughts to the interviewer. Now, moving on to the professionals. If you are already working in engineering, design, QA, or analytics, then you are at an advantage as most probably you already spend a good amount of time working with product managers and thus have a much better and realistic understanding of the product management role. The skills required for these roles also have a good amount of overlap with the product management skills. So it's much easier for you to get transferred into product management within your current org. Take whatever project you are getting as a product manager and just get stamped as a product manager once. And all this is because there is a basic flaw in how the recruitment happens in majority of the companies. Your most recent designation matters the most during recruitment. And thus, if you are working in any of these roles already, then you absolutely do not need an MBA to get into product management. It's much easier for you to get transitioned into product management in your current organization. Now comes the trickiest set of candidates. People who already have a couple of years of work experience, but in a role which is not related to product management. Now, to be honest, for such candidates, it is a little tough because your past experience is not going to be valued much. And from a product management perspective, you're practically a fresher, but you are not just any fresher. Now, you also have the additional baggage of your past work experience. And this baggage brings in expectations. You'll probably not want to join in at an APM level, as that would mean a setback from a career growth and a financial perspective. You'll probably want to join in as a senior product manager, but no company will offer you that role, and rightly so. So now, these candidates and only these candidates can consider an MBA, as that would help you get rid of this baggage to a certain extent. But before you invest 3 years of your life to MBA, 1 year for preparation to get into a good B school and then 2 years of MBA, I would suggest one more alternative of what I call the startup route. Give yourself 6 to 12 months and try exclusively in startups. Startups, particularly early stage ones, in my experience, are more open to experimenting with their profiles, and you still have a shot of breaking into product management. This at times is also because no other candidates are willing to join these startups because of the possible future instability of the company. So these startups are sometimes desperate to find good candidates and thus relax a lot of traditional recruitment filters. And as I said earlier, once you are stamped as a product manager, then a lot more opportunities can come your way even without an MBA. But let's say you tried all that and are still not able to break into product management and are absolutely certain that product management is the right career path for you. Then and only then you should go for an MBA. So basically, an MBA is the absolute last option to try if the sole objective is to get into product management. And even then, there is no guarantee that you will definitely get a product manager role. But as I said earlier, it does help in reducing your baggage of non product work experience. So, with that, I'll conclude my 2 cents on the topic of whether you need an MBA for a product manager role or not. Do let us know in the comments your experience or thoughts on MBA as a requirement for product manager role. Please like and share this video if you found it helpful, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel.